Now, Michael was born in Romania. It was under communist rule at the time. And he fled the country, and wait till you hear the story how. Absolutely incredible what he did to get out, but he fled the country around 1989. He was about 18 years old, ended up in Sweden for a while. That didn't work out, and wait to hear the story why. And then he ended up in Halifax, and then eventually in Vancouver, where he lives now. I can't imagine the struggles that you went through, to try to get out of Romania, get to Switzerland, and then on to Halifax. Like how you did it was just absolutely amazing. So I think, the listeners would enjoy hearing that story. So you were born in Romania. At the time, Romania was under communist rule.
Correct.
And your parents were both tailors.
Yes, yeah. My mom and my dad, they all worked as a tailor.
So tell us about...
To build suits, that's a kind of old European style to have custom suit made for you. So that's what they're doing.
Okay. Now tell us a little bit about the experience. Take us through what it was like back then. I know there was food rationing and all that sort of thing. So help the listeners understand what it was like living in Romania back then as a family.
Yeah, my father especially was thrown in jail for being outspoken against the regime, and myself, I didn't want to have the same life, and I was the black sheep in the family, and I want to have a better life than that, and for myself and for my family, and I decided to leave the country in 1989. I was about 18 years old, and it's mandatory to go to military service when you are finished high school. So I went to military service for about a year and a half, and then I left the country illegally.
Tell us about the experience, and I want to get to when you left, obviously, and how you managed to pull that off. But tell us about, when we say food rationing, what specifically do you mean by food rationing?
As a family, if I remember correctly, you only allowed half a liter of oil per month, one loaf of bread every 3 days, half a kilogram of meat every 3 days, and so forth. So you even had to line up for it, and that's all you got.
So really what they were trying to do was by controlling everything, they were trying to suppress the society.
Correct.
And control the society. Now, what about as a child? Did you have, toys and games and what was it like? You probably at the time thought it was normal, but compared to what you see kids with now, what was it like back then?
Well, definitely a different generation. As you know, internet computers were not invented until 15, 20 years ago. But I don't think I had toys. I mostly play outside with my friends on the same street and play soccer. Chocolate wasn't a thing back then. I remember getting presents, and I was excited to get chocolate in the Christmas time. So that was just, when I think back then, my history, I was like, what? Okay, now you can go buy here anytime you want.